Hello, I'm architect Mira Desova and I'm part of the Space team. Today we will create a 3D model of a house. We will see one more professional way to work using the extension warehouse that gives us the chance to work with even more powerful tools. We already know that we have 3D warehouse that we use for 3D models that are prepared just to insert in our scene. Today we will see the extension warehouse, which would give us the chance to use even more powerful tools and to help us improve our modeling process, even reducing our time for work. I will click and its vision of the menu, it's just like the 3D warehouse. Again, we have different groups depending on the purposes of the tools. For the purpose of our project today, we will install this extension, Mesh Wall or Mesh Wall. You type it down, and from the same developer we will find another extension that we used today. To install, we just click the blue button, then we accept. Some of these extensions are free, as those that we would use, but some you should purchase. It depends on the developer. Of course, we should keep in mind what is the hardware that we are working on, because each extension could make the software work slower. We will begin our work today with importing a CAD file. Many architects and designers work with CAD softwares to make the official DevGet drawings used in every official project. So when the drawings are ready, we could import them and use them as referential lines, so that we would be sure that we are correct with all the sizes and details. I start with File, Import. I search for the CAD file that I need. In this case, house architectural. As you may see, we have import results, a window that shows us how many layers, arcs and different components we have in this file. This is important as sometimes if we import very big file with lots of elements, we could make it hard for the program to work correctly. You see all the drawings of the different floors. If you now see the size of this woman, you would be absolutely sure that everything as a sizes is correctly placed here. Now we can begin with the modeling. We have even a roof drawing. We speak about a building that has one blind wall, and at the end we could make a twin one that would be on the other side, flipped on axis. I will use one very helpful tool for every architect, and it is exactly the extension that I've already downloaded. When I click on it, I have some sizes that I could change depending on the type of the wall. It has different heights and other parameters depending on the layering of the wall, if it is interior or exterior, constructional one or not. I will change to 25 centimeter and the height 260. I will change some of the other sizes. I want to have some outside layering, or here it is written down as finishing. And I will change the interior part with 0. Now I can begin with the outside part. As I click second time on the ending part of this side of the wall, now I make only the exterior walls because they are with these sizes, and I will click on each angle of the geometry, as I even draw these walls through the doors and windows. When I end and I click connecting them, I would see that now I have to remake some part of the wall by clicking select tool, entering the group, and I will remodel it with push-pull tool. Now I will make the same process with the other floors, clicking on the extension and making all the model of the wall. If I end with double click here and I connect the outside part of the layering, the finishing, I will make it to be continuous one, and I wouldn't have to go into the group and change it, because it would be automatically made as one wall. After we made all the walls of the exterior, now we'll have to make the interior ones. If you don't want to check on the sizes in the drawing, you can search here for the tape measure tool, click it and check out the size. Here they are 25 and 12. Now I will use the extension again, but in the interior. Next, I will make the 12 centimeter walls. I change the sizes and I start again with click on one of the end, choosing angles, and with double click I end the command. In the same way I continue on the other side, and that's the principle that I will be looking for to the other floors as well. Here is the way I could change some mistakes and correct them. I enter the group and I can use push pull tool, select tool and delete, because every single line that is not properly drawn could make all the model incorrect. So you should check all the walls before beginning with the doors and windows. Now we continue with creating the windows and the doors. We should first start making the openings by using the extension Mesh Door, clicking it and typing in the sizes of the beginning point of the opening, then entering the height. With OK, I start, and now as I choose some of the walls, all the contour would be transparent and I could pick a starting and ending point. And by these two clicks I would end the command and I could enter the group of the walls and change the surface in order to become an opening. Now I will choose another wall. And in this case I will show you how I can correct an opening. Entering the group, we double click with the mouse. You see all the other elements that are not active, they are in different coloring. Now I will use push pull tool and I could change it to the way I want. It is up to your choice whether it would be higher or lower. I will leave it this way. And I will continue with an opening of a bigger door. I will click the extension. I will click again on the wall, choosing starting point and ending one. I will choose to get into the group, but in this way of working there is a little disadvantage that I should always recorrect my wall, entering and remodel it. When we speak about some simple walls, like the interior one, it is very easy. But when I have exterior ones, or ones with some different layerings, this remodeling is very slow and it's not very functional. So now we will see another way of working with this extension. I will once again choose some sizes, but now I will use it for window and I will choose a beginning point that is a higher one for the beginning of the window. I will choose this wall. clicking OK. This time I will show the one layer on the outside and the inner one. I will show the starting point, but instead of clicking second time on the end, I would give my number from the keyboard. And finishing with enter. As you may see, a window opening is automatically made. And you see that in this case we don't have to modify the group in order to finish the opening. Now I will show another example. Extension. Typing the sizes that I need. I accept with OK. I click on both layers of the wall. If you make a mistake, you can click escape and begin again. Now I will click and type the measure 225, and you see that in this way you can shorten your work time and fasten the whole process. As you may see, when I'm still with the chosen extension, I could click many times with the same sizes, and I don't need to type it down each time. Here I will click with the same number, and with enter I would make the same opening. I would do it third time. Now I will enter this group to show you what is the way to correct it when there are some more layers. There are two groups and I should click each one of them independently. I change the exterior one, now I work in the interior one, and again I align with the level that I want. Now I can insert all the elements of the doors and windows. The shortest way to do it is by using the 3D warehouse. This is the library of SketchUp that has many pre-made elements, and we can type down everything that we want to. I will type down window, I will show you the advanced version of a leaf component, and there are many models, and you can choose whatever you need for the design that you want to make. If I choose dynamic component, again I have many options to work on, and by clicking on some of the windows and insert it in the model, not choosing scale tool, but right click with the mouse and choosing component options, I could change all the sizes that I want, which would change dynamically its vision. For example, if I know that the height of the window is 180, I could click apply, and you will see how this size would change the appearance of the window in the model. I could change each size in this way and click apply. If you don't know the size of the object, you can check it with type measure tool. In this case, I check it just for demonstration, and then type it down and click apply. If I need to change it once again, I could do it many times, but each time I have to click apply to see how it is changed. In this case we have many profile sizes, but we won't change them all now. What concern is if the opening is aligned to the windows both ways. If I close this window and see the other side of the wall, I would see that the window isn't correctly aligned to the wall, and now I have to remodel it. Right click, component options, and check which size isn't correct. Now I have to change this upper contour. You see we have upper indent. I will change it to 0, and I will click once again apply. You see that there are contours on the sides that are not alright as well. These side parts I could also change, so I would look for indents on the sides and I will apply 0 size. Now my window is correctly placed on the opening with the proper sizes, and it is very easy now to copy this element with Ctrl and move and insert it in opening that is the same, but I could also use it in a way that inserting it in the new place, I could click the options of the components and change its sizes by the new opening. I will check the size with Type Measure tool and change the measure in the component options, clicking Apply and moving with Move tool. Now the element is placed correctly. The difference between live component and dynamic component is the fact that when I give the sizes in the component options, when it is live, copying it, each and every copy will be changed by remodeling one of the versions. Now I will show you one live component for you to see the difference between them in the model. I will choose this profile. I will click Configure. I will type the height 180. In the previous webinar, we saw the way we configure these live components, and you may see another details about working with them. I would type all the sizes that are needed, and now I will place the window on the other side. I will rotate it with the Rotate tool. In this case, I should resize some of the measurements in the options of the component. I would enter this menu with double click on the component, not with right click, as it was of the other type of component. This is one of the differences between those two types of component. Now I will type the measure that I need, and when I click on other size, the model is changed. In live components we have some kind of a different sizing, and it is a matter of trying to get the size that you need. When I'm ready with placing the window, I would place it on the opening, and I will show you the difference between the other component. I will click with Control and Move tool. I will replace the copy on new opening, and it is the same window, but I will copy it third time on new place. But now I would make a copy on a place of an opening that is not the proper size, and you will see the difference between the live and the dynamic component. You know that in the other component we had the chance to work on a copy and change only it, but here if I change the one copy, everything as an original one and the other copies would be changed as well. As you may see, all the components had been changed. That's why I prefer to work with the dynamic components, especially when I'm not sure if one component should be changed and it's not the same. Now I will continue with placing the other windows, and I will choose between the two types of components. Of course, you could choose even more complex components that have different geometry depending on the design. In this case, we choose these elements to be a more simple one for the purpose of the webinar. We will continue with the doors, and we will choose different components. We will start with the entrance door. I will click the 3D warehouse. I will type down doors, and I will search for a leaf component. Advanced leaf component models, and I will choose French door. I have the option to configure. In this case, I will directly download the model in my scene. I will align it point by point, which is very important for the elements to be properly placed. I double click the component and I will change some of the sizes. I would check it with tape measure tool and correct it. I will give the size of the height, and as you may see, we have the options to change the material of the door and even the design. There are many designs to choose from. We have special menu for this. When I close the options, all the changes are made. If now this door was an interior one, this size would be proper, but now we have two layers of the wall, so I have to change one of the sizes in the component options. I will make it 350. Again, I will align it to the wall with the move tool, and now you will see that the door is correctly placed. Because I use leaf component, I cannot copy it to the interior, because if I modify it on the second place, the original would be changed as well. That's why even if I want to use the same design, I have to go to the 3D warehouse and once again download the model. I configure to the new sizes, and I will change the design as well. I begin with the height. As you may see, no matter that it is the same size as height, we should not use it as a copy of the original, because we will change other features of the original one. I will choose the design that is proper for a living room, and I will move it to place it more evenly. I would continue with the other elements. Now we will begin modeling the roof. As you remember, we imported a drawing of roof as well. It was a CAD drawing, and now I will use line tool in order to make a closed surface, and I will actually draw all the lines of the roof. If I need to, I will zoom in order to be precise. I will close all the sides of the roof, and I need to have these three different surfaces, and when I move a line up, all the other surfaces to move with it. Just for a second I will delete the drawing to see if everything is alright. Now I will continue with the lower roof. Again, the inner contour, all the lines of the roof, and now I will delete the drawing because I don't need it anymore. I will place the move tool in the middle point of the highest part of the roof, and with clicking the upper key on the keyboard I will show the direction, and if you want you can even give a size to be absolutely correct. With select tool and triple click I could choose all the surfaces of the first roof, and I will click with right click with the mouse and make it group. Same thing with the other roof. Now I have to group and the floors with the walls, doors and windows. I would combine them all to be one object. Group. Before configuring the floors on the right places, I have to make the floor slab. With line 2, on the outside contour, I will make a closed surface . Sometimes this floor slab wouldn't be seen. It depends on the design's decision. In this case, we will see the floor slab, so we make it on the outside line. I will make some diagonals, and I will see where my surface is not close. This kind of a checking you make when you're not sure where the line is not closed. And now I will delete all the unnecessary lines so that I will have one simple surface, and with Ctrl and push-pull tool I will give size 20. I will group all the floor slabs elements. I can copy the floor slab with Ctrl and move. This time I will just move it to show you how I can modify it for the other floor. In this case, we choose to work with a group of floor that is different from the floor slab, because the floor slab could be used many times and it is useful to be changed independently. Now is the moment of placing the floors. I select both groups and I will place them aligning to a point that the new is the same for all elements. In this case it is in the back side of the building. I recommend working with points that you know that are the same for the elements. Now I will place the other floor, and it is important to select from right to left, upper to down. I will place the floor slab and I will select again. Before that I will modify the floor slab. I will enter it and I will make this part that is extended. I exit the group with click outside of it. I place it to the third floor. It is time to place the roofs. With move tool, I will align it first to one of the sides, and then to the blind wall. After that, with move tool, choosing direction to the right and size 80. In this way we will shape our eaves. That's the way of working with the other roof. This time I will use scale tool to make the eave. I will modify one of the floor slabs to make a terrace. I will close the shape of the roof, and we have to be precise in order to be sure that we connect all the lines that we have to. I will now return to the first roof, the higher one. I will enter the group and I will make a profile that would give a more geometrical and realistic vision of the shape. I will make it with rectangle tool and then using line tool. After I'm ready with the drawing, I would remove the lines and surfaces that are useless, and I will leave only the contour that I need. I will use a tool that is called Follow Me tool, but first I will choose all the front lines of the roof without the back one. Follow Me tool is in the tools and we can choose it manually from here, or we can look for it in the toolbar menu, view toolbar, and you see many toolbars that we can configure for us to be easier to work in the modeling process. I would choose the Warch tool set, and depending on the workflow we could choose different configuration. I have this bigger toolbar and here it is the Follow Me tool. I will show the surface with click and everything else is automatically made. This tool works as push-pull tool, but on one line or pathway. You see that this path could be a very complex geometry. Now I will move the roof to the upper point of the building. And I will remove the lines that I don't need. I make these changes in order to keep the model as simple as I can. Now I will copy the profile and I will insert it in the group of the other roof in order to make the same contour. You see, if I put the profile on the wrong place, I could not work with it. That's why I should be aware of the place. And better insert it somewhere outside of the elements and then move it again. I repeat the actions of the previous roof, choosing the lines for the path and Follow Me tool for making it 3D. Clicking on the surface. And now closing the back side. I can begin with placing some materials on the surfaces. Of course, I should enter each group that I want to modify with materials, because otherwise I would make one and the same materials to all the surfaces if I'm not in the group. You have plenty of choices of materials. You can even insert your own one as a picture or modify, as I show now, the color and some of the sizes. I return one of the metal materials and work with it. I will draw some lines to make a more accurate roof. Outside of the group, I could draw and model some decoration or elements for the facade. Now I will make some wood elements to make more interesting vision of the building. After you finish the base model, you can always add some more details. Now I will copy the model of this part of the building, choosing right click on the object. From the flip options, I could make a copy turn to one of the axes. You see that there is importance of which axis I will choose. And I will move to the blind wall. Now I have a couple of houses that are twins and connected with blind walls. I could now make some modifyings to the details. You see that after you finish the base model, you always can insert another element or model some details. SketchUp gives us a chance to work even after we finish all our scene, which means that we could give different versions to our clients and make them in a short time. Now I will make some offset of the contour of the floor slab that I will extend, so I would make a railing. After I made some more details and insert elements from 3D warehouse, you see that we have twin houses that are connected to a blind wall. And keep in mind that SketchUp gives us many different ways to make a complex scene with a lot of details to be even more realistic. Good luck with SketchUp and see you soon!